Traveling alone always sounds scary. It's not easy going to move to another country where you don't know anyone by yourself for 4 months. In the fall of 2021, as I was checking into my flight for my semester abroad in Galway, Ireland, this thought really made me start to panic. I've always been really interested in getting to know people from other countries, especially when traveling. But even so, I'm an introvert. I began to worry about having roommates that I didn't click with, or not meeting people in my classes, just like my first year of college in the middle of the pandemic. These eventually proved to be false. The thing about travel is that you will meet people wherever you go, because not only are you surrounded by people, but you'll naturally be drawn to the people that are there for the same reasons you are. When I was in Ireland, somehow I overcame my shy introvert self. I often joke now about being an extrovert while I was in Ireland, but an introvert in the States. I like to think it was something in the culture, where the people were just so friendly and they value connections with other people. I can't really say for sure what it was, but meeting people became so natural. I formed a connection with my roommates almost instantly. They were all from the States, but we each were from a different state. We made ourselves known in a good way as the Americans in Cora Village, the student accommodation in Galway. We all had a love for Ireland, which is what brought us to Galway and what brought us together. We ended up going on lots of little adventures around Ireland. We went to the Cliffs of Moher, the Aran Islands, Dublin, Cork, and even a random little cottage in the middle of County Kilkenny for a weekend. For a while I felt a little bad about going to Ireland just for my friends to be Americans, but as the semester went on, that went away. I only ever would have met these people in Ireland, and it is special to have a shared love as Americans for Ireland. I did make some Irish friends though. It was just a different kind of connection. Sometimes things work out in a weird way. Because of the pandemic, all the Irish students in my year were online their first year, so as I was trying to make friends in my classes, so were all the Irish students. This made getting to meet people much less intimidating. One time I struck up a conversation while waiting outside a classroom with an Irish girl who asked me a question about her history class. Suddenly we had 2 classes together, and I would sit with her at every one. Through her, I met a few other girls in the classes. Sometimes I would hang out with them in between class or at the student bar at night. They all were really excited to hear about all of my travel plans in Ireland, and I loved getting advice on what to see from them. I never thought I would say I have Irish friends who also like to study history. You meet so many people you wouldn't normally meet at home when studying abroad. Not only did I meet people from all over the US and from all over Ireland, but I also met people from all over the world. I got to know people living in my building and the other buildings on my block really well. I met people from Malaysia, the Netherlands, France, Saudi Arabia, Germany, and even Trinidad and Tobago. What I learned from my experience in Ireland is that you shouldn't put any pressure on yourself to meet people. You can find some pretty unexpected but special connections when studying abroad. These are what shape the whole experience. Studying abroad isn't just about becoming a local in your host country, but also about becoming a global citizen. That's how I described myself during my semester in Ireland. I was a global citizen.